Ned, you can make it. Come on back to the patio. You're just in time for story time. Yeah, come on in, have a seat. Today, I'm going to be reading the big book, Fortunately, by the author, Remy Charlip. Now, I made this big book a long time ago for my classes, but I didn't write the book. It is by Remy Charlip. I just made it into a big book. Long time ago. See, it was published in 1989, not the original book, but my big book version of it. So I'll let you do the math. You know how to set that math problem up? Think about it a second. I'll give you a hint. Take the current year and subtract the year that it was made. This is 1989 that it was made. See what you come up with. What's the difference between the current year and 1989? That's how long ago it was made. So the first word in the book is also the first word in the title, or the only word in the title. Fortunately. And it says, fortunately one day, Ned got a letter that said, please come to a surprise party. So here's Ned, and he's got the letter in his hand, and he's got this thought bubble going on, and he's picturing punch and cookies and cake and balloons and presents, all the things you would see in a party. He's got a great big smile on his face, so I'm imagining he's pretty happy. It's cool to be invited to a party, right? Absolutely. Then on the next page, the mood seems to change an awful lot. If you can see this illustration, it's mostly in shades of black and gray. And it says, but unfortunately, the party was in Florida and he was in New York. Oh, man. Fortunately, a friend loaned him an airplane. Yay, and there's Ned flying in the airplane with a rainbow in the sky. He's all excited. How do you think the next page is going to begin? Any ideas? Let's try it and see. Unfortunately, the motor exploded. Can you see that picture? Can you see the motor exploded? Wow. I wonder what's going to happen to Ned. Fortunately, there was a parachute in the plane. Yay! So here comes Ned floating down. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'd be pretty happy about that too. But unfortunately, look right there. There was a hole in the parachute. Oh my gosh, what is he gonna do? Fortunately, there was a haystack on the ground. So here's Ned falling through the air. Oh, and look, there's the haystack right there. If he lands right there on the haystack, Ned's gonna be okay, because the haystack actually absorbs force, so it won't hurt him as bad as if he were hitting flat ground. Unfortunately, there was a pitchfork in the haystack. And as Ned gets close to the haystack, we can see not only is there a pitchfork there, but it is facing up, so that the prongs, I guess there's just 3 of them, of the pitchfork, the pointy ends, are facing up. What would happen if Ned landed on that? Yikes, bad stuff, right? Turn the page. Fortunately, he missed the pitchfork. Good way to go, Ned. Good job. Unfortunately, he missed the haystack too. Oh no. That looks like it's gonna hurt. Look, he's head down. Like his head's going first. That is not a good thing to hit the ground with your head first. Fortunately, he landed in water. Can you see that? In the water. unfortunately, the waters were shark infested. Bottom. Oh dear, Ed, you better get out of there. Look at him, he's swimming as fast as he can go. And the sharks are all chasing behind him. Do you think he can outswim those sharks? I don't know. They're pretty fast. Fortunately, he swam fast. Unfortunately, there were tigers on the land. And if you can see this, this is a palm tree that Ned is climbing out of the water onto. And there's a tiger hiding right behind it. Oh, look. There's the tiger running, and there's Ned running. Fortunately, he ran fast. Run, Ned, run. Unfortunately, he ran into a deep, dark cave. Look, it's all dark, except two little pair of eyes down here, and an archway right there that you can see out of. And look, there's two tigers sticking their head in. Yeesh. Fortunately, he dug fast. Look at him digging. That whole thing is a tunnel. But what is that? Looks like a tiger to me, climbing in the tunnel, trying to get to Ned still. He just can't get away. And look, there he is with his poor little, what do you call that? Little pitchfork or whatever it is, digging the rock away. Unfortunately, he dug himself into a fancy ballroom. And here you can see all the dancers in the ballroom. Look at this lady. She fainted. Isn't that funny? Well, you would be kind of surprised, too, if a guy came busting through the floor, right? I don't know that I really blame her. Fortunately, there was a party going on. And fortunately, the party was for him. Because, fortunately, it was his birthday. The end. Wasn't that a cute story? So what was the pattern that you noticed in this book, Fortunately and Unfortunately? Did you notice that one page started with fortunately and it said a good thing? And then the next page started with what? Yeah, it started with unfortunately and it told something bad that happened. So here is a challenge for you. Can you write a story like this, a fortunately, unfortunately story? It doesn't have to be about the same thing. It doesn't have to be about Ned. It doesn't have to be about an invitation to a party. It can be about anything you are interested in. But try and have a series of things that happen. And email me a video of you reading your book. Make it into a little book that you can read and read it to me. And let me see you reading your own big book of Fortunately. Or it could be a little book. It doesn't really matter. But let's see what you can do. What are the interesting things you can come up with to do with that theme or that pattern, Fortunately, Unfortunately. Thanks for stopping in today for Storytime. I hope you had fun. Next time we'll explore another book.